What's up there, my reading friends? I am on with a quick review and recommendation for you on a gothic horror novel that I really enjoyed, Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. This book is the vampire Lewis's story. He tells his story about being a vampire for 200 years in the form of an interview with a character known as the Boy. And Lewis talks all about his adventures through Paris and New Orleans, and he talks about his own internal struggles. You see, Lewis is very troubled by the fact that he is a vampire. Much of the novel's focused on the vampire Lestat, who turns Lewis into a vampire, but I love the philosophical tones here. Anne Rice actually turned this novel into a novel from a short story over a period of 5 weeks, and she wrote it after the death of her 5-year-old daughter. Her 5-year-old daughter died of leukemia, and I felt that it really made a difference as far as the novel was concerned because Anne Rice holds back not at all when it comes to asking questions about morality and society and internal struggle and good versus evil and coming of age. And it's just a beautifully written novel in my opinion because of the fact that it seems to be one part reinvented vampire adventure and one part deeply philosophical questioning about life and death and human nature and what it is to be human. Even though it's coming of age for a vampire and the characters are vampires, this book is all about us and what it means to be us and what is important in life. And I just can't say enough about how much of a deep thinker I think Anne Rice is and how much of her mind and her thoughts and her worries and her questions that she puts into this novel. I thought it was just gold because of that. This book is book 1 in the legendary Vampire Chronicles, and it really is the unholy grail of vampire novels. This book is part of a series that actually merges with another series that Anne Rice has, the Witch books. How awesome is that? I felt that this book really reinvents the whole vampire thing. Back when it was first coming out, when it was first published, this thing changed vampire fiction. Anne Rice is the queen of the damned when it comes to writing these things. She absolutely mastered it, and I'm really surprised that this book is as good as it is for a debut novel. I just can't say enough. I didn't think that I would like this one when I started it. I was really skeptical, and I think that it really surprised me in the way that I was caught up. It was such a vivid experience. The Victorian landscape is so beautiful in this novel, and the characters are real, and they have these bizarre dialogues that are strange but just shocking and engrossing, and they really address some serious hardcore topics here do the characters in this novel. I loved Lestat and Lewis. Lestat's a very powerful vampire that's the vampire father of Lewis, basically. And I loved Armand and the other vampires. I just felt that this was unlike anything that I have ever read. I thought it was phenomenal. I'm now going into book 3. Keep your eye out for the review on book 2, The Vampire Lestat, where we get a history of the vampires. And The Queen of the Damned, which I'm definitely going to read in the near future. My friends, I want to tell you that this book is where it is at. If you love vampires, and you haven't read this one, I have to give it the strongest recommendation that I possibly could. I give this book a 4-star review. I thought it was unique, and I even have used the word unique inappropriately for something that wasn't quite unique maybe in the past. This book is unique. Anne Rice absolutely owns vampire fiction with this book. It's no wonder it went on to be a bestseller, and it's the first installment in the best vampire series of all time. and in my opinion, and I absolutely just recommend it. I just recommend it. Even if you're not into horror too much, you think vampires, I wouldn't really like that. Let me tell you, my friend, that Anne Rice changed the vampire game with this novel, and it's inspired so much with movies and comics, and I think even plays. It's just utterly incredible and totally deserving of everything that it's influenced. There you have it, my friends. I strongly recommend this book. Even if you're not into horror, if you think vampires aren't your thing, I was skeptical, and now I am hooked. I'm definitely going to read them all. I'm going to review them all here on my channel, and I'm definitely going to look into her Witches series to see how they merge. I think that's really cool, and I know that I'm going to have a smile on my face when I get that far. I want to ask you to like this video if you enjoyed it. I ask you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can join me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads. I'll drop the links for that stuff in the comments. I thank you all very much from the bottom of my heart for the support you showed me, and I will see you next time, my friends.